So we understand that fundamentally we've missed, in terms of a warm-up, we understand now that fundamentally we've been missing the back half of the most important part of the hip escape, or side control escapes in general, is that by doing this as a drill, we are not getting the most important part, which is the technical ability to drive the knee up inside and hit this reset so we can continue to pursue our opponent. So if this happens, so we're side control here. I'm going to create now. I'm going to elevate, okay? Get up underneath the chin. Got my frames here. So now the hand frame or the forearm frame needs to transition his body over to the knee frame or the shin frame. Okay, so I'm bridging and I'm turning, which is the warm up. That's the first part of the warm up. Now I'm going to bring the reset in. Okay, I'm going to bring the knee up high in close to the armpit. Now let's look at this really quick. A lot of people drop this knee down on the mat and they start trying to bring it high and inside. There's a big problem with that. If I can scoot away. If I start trying to bring my knee inside and he's got his knee down, he can block it with either his knee or he can block it with his hand. It doesn't really matter, or he can block it with both. Okay? The ideal place to look for the insertion point is right in here so that it can kind of slide down. All right, so I bridge, I scoot away. I want to bring as much pressure on him as I can to get a little bit of space. It doesn't make a lot of sense to bring it in down here because I'm not effectively able to keep his knee back. I'm on this side. I'm framing on the opposite hip, and I'm framing on the opposite shoulder. It does very little good. He can bring his knee all the way up, and I can't get through, but I can get through right here. So it makes no sense to try to bring it up under here. It also makes a little bit of sense, depending on your angle of deflection upper body-wise, if you kind of turn back here a little ways, to maybe even try to kind of get up underneath high at the belly. Okay, so anywhere in between sort of here, that armpit, and the hip is kind of where you want to target depending on which angle your upper body is being deflected to. Being deflected more to your back, being deflected, are you more on your side? Now we can really bring it in. So let's assume I've gotten the knee to elbow connection. Okay? Now he's got a couple choices. This knee to elbow is in. Even if he brings his hand on the inside at my hip, he's got a big problem here. He can sweep the leg out, but it's going to be hard to do because why?
You post it out.
My post. And historically, when we teach this technique, it's bridge, turn out, bring your knee high. Next thing you know, we start trying to bring the leg inside, get inside. We don't leave this one down and stay active with our hips driving into him. We try to go away, and he chases. So an easier method here, bridge out. Now I'm going to bring that knee inside, and I'm going to keep this foot back here active. I'm going to recoil it so I can move again. Okay? Now when he makes his decision how he's going to address this knee coming inside, it may not be all the way up like this. It may just be right here. He's got to make a decision how he wants to address it. Now I can push again. He decided to hit the hip switch and lift his body up. So I gave one solid scoot into him off of my drive leg. So now I'm going to do it again. He's got to address it. When he figures out which way he wants to address it to pass, I keep going, and I've created space to now get inside and start working. Okay? So the reset becomes the most important aspect of this. What I'm doing is I'm creating a bar right here across his belly, and I'm driving him with it, driving him with it, driving him with it, driving him with it. I'm transferring my frames from my upper body to the lower body, and if need be, I can transfer my frame back from the lower body to the upper body. Back and forth, okay? But notice that the elbow stays pretty close to the hip, or pretty close to the knee at all times, which is why we wanted which is why we wanted to be able to bridge hip escape. Now I'm making this overly dramatic here, driving the knee to the elbow. Then I want to recoil my reset. Recoil my reset. Recoil my reset, so that I can continue to chase my opponent with my knee shield, my lower knee shield, okay, across his hip. So again, all right, upper body frames. The elbow is going to transfer him to my knee. Bridge, out, tip of the knee comes in. Okay, I'm going to get it where I can get it. Then I'm going to get here, and I'm going to drive the knee hard to the elbow, forcing the knee inside. Once he figures out a way to deal with it, most of the time it's going to be to lift and elevate and get mobile. Now I can start to transfer my frames wherever I want. Okay? I want to go high to low, then he moves back, I can go low to high. I can transfer him from these frames to these frames to these frames, transfer him back and forth. Whatever fits the situation. So again, we're going to do this dry runs here, no resistance. Bridge out, okay? Recoil first, so I have my drop. Curl, push, drive, until he addresses you. Drive, back up. Let's get it. 1, 2, 3.